You are not afraid of success in the cliched way. You are afraid of what success exposes. Because when things start going well, the quieter part of you hears, now there's proof, now I can't hide. Now people will want more. Now I'll have to keep being this version of me, keep ramping it up, because I'm only as good as my last hit. They want more. They want more always. And some older survival program, loyal, blunt, ancient, steps in and says, hell no. Too much light, too bright, too visible, too binding, too blinding. So it helps by pulling a tripwire, spilling the ink, picking a fight, numbing, perfecting, procrastination, revenge procrastination, anything that returns you to the familiar weather of frustration. Self-sabotage is not stupidity, it's protection using outdated maps, obsolete instruments. Now, let's loosen that curse with a few precise turns of phrase. What you call sabotage might actually be your nervous system enforcing a speed limit. Not, I ruin it, but I don't yet feel safe going this fast. That changes the opponent from me to an unmet need in the safety category. If success triggers sabotage, then the trigger is not success. It's the meaning you attach to it. Visibility, responsibility, envy, abandonment, pressure, identity change, being out on display. So the work is not to stop sabotaging. The work is to change what success predicts. Notice the hidden loyalty. Part of you may be keeping faith with an old rule like don't outshine the master, never stop grinding. Need is a weakness. Keep your options open. If it's real, it can be taken away from me. That part isn't your enemy, it's your bodyguard. It just needs a new job description. Here's a lever to use on yourself. I'm curious. What benefit does sabotaging give me right before the finish line? That question alone often cracks the whole thing open. Here is your ceremony to make success safe. Do this once, tonight or tomorrow. Get 2 cups of water, put them on a table. Label one familiar, label the other success. In the success cup, drop a pinch of salt or a small coin and say out loud, this is the part of success that feels dangerous. Blank. Fill in one real word. Visibility, expectations, responsibility, being judged, being left, losing control, pressure. In the familiar cup, say, this is what I get to keep by staying here. Again, one real word, certainty, invisibility, rest, belonging, not being disappointed, invisibility. Now, do the key move. Pour half of success into familiar. Mix them up and say, my success will contain familiarity. Choose something specific. One day off a week, slower pace. Private wins celebrated privately with a circle of intimates. Smaller promises, help from others. Messy drafts allowed. Wild experimentation encouraged. Finally, drink only the mixed cup and say, I can have it without losing myself, unless I want to. Then, tiny behavioral seal. This is the most important part. Pick one goal you're currently sabotaging, or think you are, and take a 2-minute, too small to fear action on it right away after the ritual. Not 20 minutes, not 2 hours, 2 minutes. You're teaching your system. Success is not an emergency. The things I'm afraid of are not happening right now. They may never happen. Right now, it's adequately chill. You're listening to K-Chung, Los Angeles, 1630 a.m., kchungradio.org. This is Emerson Dameron's Medicated Minutes, LA's #1 avant-garde personal development program, each first Wednesday of the month, 7 o'clock Pacific. And after that, it lives on as the only good podcast. And if you love podcasts, I'm sure you know how to get it. And if you hate them or you've never heard them, this is a great one to start with because it's the only good one. I'm Emerson Dameron. I love you personally. Levity saves lives. You have always sensed that you are meant for something meaningful, even if you can't always define what that means. There are times when you feel confident and capable, and other times when you quietly question whether you're doing enough. You value honesty and authenticity, yet you've learned that not everyone deserves your full story. Although you enjoy being around others, you also need moments alone to reset and gather your thoughts. You have a deep desire to grow, even when growth feels uncomfortable or uncertain. At your core, you want to make a difference in the micro and the macro. You are harder on yourself than most people realize, harder on yourself than you realize, holding yourself to standards that others don't always see. If somebody else treated you that way, you'd get a restraining order. There are dreams you carry quietly, not because they're unrealistic, but because they matter so much to you. They feel fragile. You appreciate recognition, though you rarely demand it. You try to be practical and logical, yet your intuition often guides you more accurately than you admit. You have moments of boldness that surprise even you. At times you feel misunderstood, even by those closest to you. Sometimes especially by those closest to you. You believe in fairness and you feel frustrated when things seem unjust. You want stability, but you also crave adventure. There's a part of you that still hopes for more, even when you tell yourself to be satisfied. You've learned lessons the hard way, and those lessons have quietly shaped your character. You're so much more resilient than you sometimes give yourself credit for. When you look back on your life, you can see the patterns of perseverance that maybe weren't so easy to see up close. Maybe others don't see them. You care deeply about certain people, even if you don't always show it outwardly. You have untapped reservoirs of potential that you sense but have not yet fully explored. There are days when you feel completely on track and others when you wonder if you've lost your direction. You want your efforts to matter. You don't like feeling invisible. You have a natural ability to read situations, even if you occasionally doubt your own judgment. You strive to balance responsibility with personal fulfillment. Sometimes you replay conversations in your mind, wishing you had said something slightly differently. You believe that personal growth is important, even if progress feels slow and intermittent. You are capable of intense focus when something truly captures your attention. You prefer meaningful connections over superficial ones. You've experienced setbacks that strengthened you in ways you didn't expect, ways you might not even know. There are aspects of you that only a few people really understand. You're adaptable, even when change initially unsettles you. You want to feel secure, yet you also want to feel alive. You surprised yourself before. You will likely do it again. You recognize that life is complex, and you accept that not everything has clear answers. You sometimes feel caught between who you are and who you're becoming. You value independence, but you also appreciate support. There are moments when you sense you're on the verge of something better. You believe every effort pays off, even if the timing and payout schedule is unpredictable. You have strengths that others notice more easily than you do. You want your life to reflect your values, even if you're still refining what those values are. You understand mistakes are part of growth, though you still wish you could avoid them. You have a quiet determination that carries you through uncertainty. You are still evolving, still learning, and still capable of becoming so much more than you ever dared imagine. You've lived with this long enough that you built a philosophy around it. There was the depressed one, the heavy, inert, self-disgusted version of you who believed he was fundamentally doomed. And there is this one, the mobilized one, the hustler, the one who suddenly decided movement was non-negotiable. And now you're disturbed because they don't recognize each other. Here's what you haven't said out loud. You don't hate the depressed version because he was weak. You hate him because he felt uncontrollable. And you don't trust this energized version because he feels temporary. So you've split yourself into two strangers, one you despise and one you don't believe in. The split is the real fear. Now let's look at the belief underneath all this. Every upswing is followed by a deep freeze. I will almost certainly become him again. Notice how certain that sounds. How did you reach that conclusion? Was it based on every single past fluctuation or the ones that hurt the most? And even if that pattern existed before, what if it wasn't a law of nature, but a strategy your nervous system learned? Depression isn't just sadness. It's often a break, a conservation mode, a shut everything down so we don't get hurt again mechanism. What if the crash after every boom wasn't failure, but protection? You mobilize, you expend, you push hard. Your system says too fast, too exposed, too risky. It pulls the emergency brake. Not because you're broken, but because you accelerate like someone who's trying to outrun annihilation. Look at what you said. You sucked it up. The language matters. Suck it up is war language. It's suppression language. It's domination. So of course the part of you that collapses doesn't trust this version. This version doesn't listen. He conquers. Why would the exhausted one feel safe with this guy? You're not oscillating between strength and weakness. You're oscillating between control and collapse. Different strategy. Here's the reframe that might sting a little bit. The depressed version of you is not your enemy. He's the part that refuses to perform when he feels no hope. He may actually be the honest one. The energized version, he's the one who believes action can change fate. You need both. Right now you're trying to exile one and cling to the other. The Civil War is what creates the freeze. So here's your ceremonial act. Not metaphorical. Do this physically. Tonight, take 2 sheets of paper. On the first, write a letter from the depressed one to you now. Let him explain himself. Let him tell you what he was protecting you from. Don't edit. Don't make him polite. You know him too well to do that. On the second, write a letter from the hustler to the depressed one. Not attacking, not shaming, just explaining why he started moving. Then, and this is the important part, read them out loud to an empty room, switching chairs between the letters. When you're done, sit in a third chair, a neutral one, and say, I am the one who contains both of you, because that's the identity you're missing. You're afraid of the freeze returning, but what if the real skill isn't preventing the freeze, but learning to stay in the dialogue when it arrives? One more thing. You said you have no sympathy for who you were a month ago. That lack of sympathy is the only dangerous signal in your whole message. If the energized you can't feel compassion for the collapsed you, then when the collapse returns, it will come with shame. Shame deepens the freeze. Shame freezes everything it touches, so here's a final small act for the week. Every morning, say, even if you don't mean it, if I fall again, I will not abandon myself. Not I won't fall, not I'll stay strong, just that you're not trying to become a permanently elevated person. You're learning to become someone who doesn't split in two. Think about this. When you imagine the freeze returning, what feels most frightening about it? The feeling itself or what it says about who you are? Listen close, darling. You've felt it brushing against you for years, that slow, electric promise you keep telling yourself is only the room's fault. You've been avoiding the confession, but tonight the rain in Monte Carlo is tapping code on the window, and I'm in the mood to translate. It was one of those nights. It always is, when the casino lights smear like wet lipstick and I finally saw why most people haven't got a clue what's really moving inside them. They announce it with theatrical certainty. I'm burning with rage. I'm helplessly enchanted. I'm so bored I could scream. Same tone they use to declare their rising sign, hometown, or ideological commitments, as though faith handed them a script and they're just delivering their lines with perfect enunciation. That's emotions, a bright, brittle sparkler, a martini stem snapping between careless fingers, a private fiction you murmur to explain why your breath just caught. But affect is the hush that settles over the felt the moment before I slide into the chair across from you. It's the bass line thrumming under the dealer's hands before a single card turns. It's the slow burn behind a woman's lashes and the heartbeat before she decides whether the smile she's about to give you will be polite or predatory. It's the low, constant current you've left switched on in your nervous system, the one you stopped noticing ages ago that already knows whether you're going to lean in until the space between you disappears or pull back just enough to make her chase the difference. The white coat types with the letters after their names reduce it to two controls: valence and arousal, warm invitation or sharp chill, high wire tension or languid drift. Two dials. And those two dials have been quietly steering every glance, every brush of fingertips, every yes or no you never quite said out loud. Consider this your long overdue briefing. Imagine this: baccarat, stakes obscene enough to make old money flinch. Across the green sits the sort of woman who turns danger into an aphrodisiac. Not crude, not obvious, but the kind who makes you wonder how many men have already lost everything without her ever raising her voice. At the far end, the villain in the expensive suit believes he projects calm. He does not. Negative valence, pulsing arousal, brittle, overwound, a live wire pretending to be sculpture. He's labeled the static in his veins confidence, without once checking his emotional weather report. That's emotion again, a neat pin he's stuck through the chaos to make it look presentable. Beneath that, a slow and sour burn that's been leaching through him for days. A private conviction that life still owes him a very specific, very personal debt and keeps sending the wrong currency. Or worse, gift cards. You taste it in the air around him before he speaks. The room knows he's angry long before his mouth does. Here's the razor's edge that cuts everything open. Emotion is the kiss you steal. Affect is the way your mouth hovered, open, expectant, before your lips ever crushed hers. Emotion is the moment you push her against the closed door with a thump. Affect is whether your hands were already trembling with hunger or steady, purposeful when you first touched her waist, when you first lingered a little too long in that hug with your hand on the small of her back. Affect lingers for days, weeks, hardens into the weather system people call your personality. He arrives like winter, she walks in and summer follows. Not a fleeting mood, the permanent climate of a human animal, and climate dictates movement long before any sudden storm arrives. The sun breaks through the clouds, or snow falls on the Hollywood sign. Someone relaxed, positive valence, low arousal, moves like warm oil poured over skin. You've felt the pull, the liquid ease that makes strangers want to close distance without ever deciding to get a nice long drag of that momentum. Someone anxious, negative, high-strung, jerks, laughs too sharp, drinks like the liquor might escape, tightens the air until breathing feels like a negotiation. Someone heavy, negative, low, a soaked velveteen coat they can't remember putting on. They all insist they're simply responding to the moment. Moments are the flint. Affect is the powder. I've worn every one of these skins in the space of a single weekend. No apology. I don't apologize. I credential. Now the part that makes the room feel smaller. Emotion gets lonely. It needs a match, a barb, a departure, a touch too sudden, snuff the cause, and the flame gutters out. It's weather, it passes.
Affect needs nothing. You can wake with a melancholy that arrived without postage, glide through the hours, faintly irritated by the curve of every object, the way a glass catches light, the angle of a stranger's wrist, without a single provocation. No one has hurt you. The universe does not care. It's simply the private soundtrack your wiring defaults to when you stop paying attention to it. Once you get this, not with polite nodding interest, but the way you grip someone's throat when the game gets serious, you become inconveniently difficult to resist. You stop tussling the flare and start tuning the baseline. You don't calm the anger. You dial arousal down until the pulse feels like an invitation instead of a threat. You don't pursue bliss like it's late for a rendezvous. You tilt valence toward warmth until the air itself leans toward you. You enter a room and the temperature changes before anyone knows your name. This is not sleight of hand. That's native fluency, trickery sweats. Fluency just breathes and hangs out. Cold lamping, we used to call it. The quietest kind of dominion. The sort that makes someone feel desired before they've named that feeling. The sort that lets you hold their gaze one illicit second longer than decorum permits. And drink every drop of that extra heartbeat like vintage brandy. Here we are, you and I. If you want to command the table, the cards, the words, the bodies, the long existential bossa nova, stop chasing the fireworks of emotion. You'll never catch them. You wouldn't like it if you did. Start auditing your affect. Ask it low, the way you'd ask in the dark. Is my baseline warm enough to draw them closer, or edged enough to make them shiver? High-strung, languid, what season do I carry through the door? What weather system am I right now? What are they already tasting off my skin before I've spoken? The world never answers your opening line directly. It answers your climate. When you learn that to set the climate, not stage it, not force it, but tune it from something deep, real, and shameless inside, you stop pursuing outcomes. You become the place where they happen. Now, if you don't drink, pour yourself a ginger ale. If you do, pour yourself a dark and stormy. Something that costs more than a lot of people's rent. Sit still, listen past the chatter in your head to the low, steady thrum underneath. The one that's been running the show this whole time, patient, waiting for you to claim it. That's your affect. Adjust the dials and then watch what comes to you without being asked. This is Emerson Dameron's Medicated Minutes, LA's #1 avant-garde personal development program. I am Emerson Dameron. I love you personally. Levity saves lives. What would I like to know about you if there was one thing? Everything? Is that a thing? How do I hack into your brain? Escape this horrible isolation of being a person sealed in skin, never really knowing what's going on with someone else? I'd like to know how to make that kind of connection with you. Maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you're like, I don't know this guy. So far, he seems okay. I can imagine that would be interesting. What I'm telling you is just take that leap of faith. Jump off. It's more fun jumping into the unknown than it is jumping into something you already know. And sure, it's deadly, but what isn't? Anything is deadly, depending on what you want the outcome to be. Hell yeah, I'm all about it. Get up on it. I remember a couple years ago, I said I wanted to be surprised. That turned out poorly. Not going to get into why, because you don't need to hear about that, because this year, I'm getting over it. Getting over it. The whole Omni crisis. And I'm already looking good. I'm coming out better than ever. You're going to want to be a part of
this is going to be the hot ticket pretty soon. I will only get more powerful. And as that happens, I will gain momentum, and I will have people around me who want to be involved with that. So what I would do if I were you is go ahead and take that risk first. And you're like, how do I know? How do I trust this guy? Well, I'm telling you, because I know this guy. I know he's good for it. So take my advice and take on me. I'm looking for someone kind. I've already met the love of my life. I don't think that if I were more of an optimist, I would think that maybe someone absolutely amazing is going to come along. Or, if I'm being self-critical, I could say maybe what I'm looking for will change. Maybe I will wake up with dramatically lower standards. Did I have high standards before? Not really. You don't have high standards if you're waiting for someone to find you. Historically, I've looked for love bombing because that's been the only way to get through to me, and that's been unfortunate. So I'm trying to shake myself out of that, but it does continue to be. And here we go. One of the things I go crazy for. I go crazy when I'm off my medication, when I wake up and look in the mirror and don't recognize the person there, when I'm barking at the moon in the middle of the day, when I'm running around in circles and I don't know where I'm going because I'm going nowhere. And that's the thing I pretend not to know because I don't want to admit to myself that I've already found what I was looking for, because it could seem massively disappointing, and it kind of did the first time I tried to make sense of it all. I was like, is that it, really? But then I realized I am still denying myself an honest look at it because I don't want the work that's going to come out of having the realization that I would expect to have. My simple pleasures, I enjoy a little bit of schadenfreude now and then. Classical music, well, the Moldau mostly. I enjoy reading books by candlelight, or in one case, having them read to me. You probably can't do that in the same way that you can't call me nicknames. I like hearing my own name pronounced correctly. It is a musical sound to my ears. I like the smell of laundry exhaust, of toast burning, of cats turning over in their sleep, cleaning their kittens. I like the noises that cats make when they do make noise. I like their dignity. I like the fact that they don't really seem to need anything from me. That's what I like to see. That's the healthy attitude. And there's something in that for you, too. Try it. See what happens. Take your bad habit. You know it's bad because you don't want to do it anymore. It's encroaching into other areas of your life. You don't enjoy it the way that you did riding high on that dragon you are now chasing. Pete's dragon has left the building and you are left humiliating yourself, impoverishing the rest of your life, just setting yourself back. Whatever that is. If it's ping pong, porn, I think porn is fine. If that's what does it for you, I would prefer to create it. And if I was doing that, I would not tell you, but you will also notice that I'm not outright denying it. I've never been hypnotized by porn. It's show business. Nobody does anal pile drivers on the first date, except they probably do now because they've seen it in porn. The best porn is always the stuff that you want to do, but don't most of the time. Mostly because we're not having sex most of the time, which is a damn shame. Or not, depending. Sex should be enthusiastically consensual, and if I'm going to have sex with you, you better be begging for it. Take the chemical, the drug, whatever it is, you know what it is, in your gut, if not in your bad habit-addled brain as of yet. Or you're afraid to stop doing it because there's going to be a crash, and in many ways, you're going to have to reorient yourself to your life. Try it for 24 hours. Kick that thing. The coldest turkey that you possibly can go. Go turkeys. I'm sure that that's a team, one of these little podunk teams out in the middle of nowhere, USA. I want to say the asshole of the country, but I feel like the asshole of America is a gape at this point. It's most of it. Let's not try to polish this turd that we're becoming. I don't like this Donald Trump fellow. I just do not care for him. I don't like his energy. There's something that's off. Not a fan. I think he's a bad egg. I would like to think about him less than I do. He probably listens to the show, so I will likely cut all of that in post. Please don't send your flying
monkeys in my direction. Or you know what? Do it. Come on, old man in very steep cognitive decline that somehow was not remarked upon and still isn't, although the man is gone. Nobody's home, and I wouldn't even say the lights are on. Let him degenerate. Let him decompose. Let him see what that's like, because that's the fate he deserves. And of course, I'm roasting you, Don. Don the Don. It's good. Don't, or do, bring the noise. You're gonna wish you hadn't. Nobody gets away with anything. Figure it out. What is your drug of choice? And abstain from that for 24 hours. But here's the thing. You have to have something else to do. The best way to get over an addiction is the patch. Whatever the patch is for you. That's how I quit smoking, which is not easy to do. On the scale of addictiveness 1 through 5, nicotine is a 6. Junkies are just more likely to whine about the withdrawal. It's special. It's very cool to shoot heroin, and your life becomes fascinating if you do that. And you end up breaking into my car, but not being able to steal the stereo despite what appeared to be hours of effort. You had a crowbar and you couldn't do it. I would say go play guitar instead. You're going to be great at that, because that's what heroin is really good for. Knock it off for 24 hours and pay attention to the cravings, the frustration, the anger, the fear, the acceptance, the false acceptance, because you really didn't accept anything, and there's another layer of screaming awfulness. Just write all of that down, and then 24 hours later, jack off. Get high. Get low. Get laid. Ruin your life. It's not really your fault. I don't believe in free will. I think free will is a useful illusion, an idea. Ceasing to believe in free will is a form of madness, although I think it's an accurate reflection of that little sliver of reality that we all have access to enough to form some sort of a consensus. Just do it like you've never done it before. Just hit it, binge, go on a bender, and have fun, because now you can, because your tolerance is back down, and it's like you're coming home. And if you enjoyed your sober Rumspringa, you can always do that again. That's just not doing something. You're not doing almost everything right now. How hard could it be? Not very. Easy like Sunday morning. Easy like your mom. Easy like we can make things on ourselves. If we just breathe, just settle in. All right, now you got to stop applauding. Thanks for that. Thanks for the standing O, but we got to settle down, everybody. Come on, let's center ourselves. Try it. See what happens. Imagine how it's going to feel. I'm stretching out your tight little ear holes with Emerson Dameron's Medicated Minutes, LA's #1 avant-garde personal development program. We're going to help you get what you want, because that's almost certainly going to drive you insane, which is going to be fun to watch and is going to eliminate some of our competition for resources that are scarce in the games that are zero-sum. Seeing what you're missing and getting what you want is way too much for the modal person, which is fine, because we get to watch them go down. And that is pleasurable, not just schadenfreude. There's some other darker reasons why. But we don't have to feel bad about it, because you are going to love it. Go out, listen to it on your walk, on your jog. You're already humiliating yourself with a fanny pack. And just imagine how how you would feel if everyone around you knew this show, this knowledge, this love, this deliverance, the reason that you pray real good. What if everyone saw that dripping out of your ears? What if everyone knew what a pathetic slut you are for knowledge, teaching tales, bite-sized erotic thrillers, Ask a Sadist, LA's most feared agony columnist, all under the watchful financial sponsorship and secret in this much more influential partner in our always evolving business strategy for the show. And of course, the medicated millions. But this show's not about them. It's about you. The most interesting topic in the world. Think about how it's gonna feel when you are cooking, cleaning, doing other odd tasks to benefit the thing and the man who empowered you. If you don't want that, turn it off right now. I will leave you to your fate. I've learned that I can't save everyone. As the years go by, there are fewer people I can save. But I also know who's deserving, and I know what you're gonna get, and I know how badly you deserve it, because you're disgusting, and you love the way that I shoot that knowledge in you, and it goes right to your brain and gets absorbed. It's Emerson Dameron's Medicated Minutes. I know you'll love it. Just imagine how it's gonna feel. Imagine how it's gonna feel when you become one with this message. The cosmic joke has a punchline. The butt of the joke is you, even sometimes me, when they're swinging really low. There's a 2-item minimum. If you don't drink alcohol like me, I suggest a Virgin Dark and Stormy, because they're not gonna know how to fix that. They're gonna screw it up. And then they owe you one. It gets some tater tots or those pickles that are so delicious that you could hardly find them. They put in Bloody Marys at my old go-to bar, the Manhattan in Athens, Georgia. And the pickle in the Bloody Mary is so delicious and absorbs so much of the good stuff that's in there that one time I asked for another one. And I asked a bartender who I had a great rapport with, who I was sure would be delighted to hook me up with another one of these pickles. Surely they had pickles all over the place back there. That assumption on my part was wrong. They could give me another pickle, but they were going to have to charge me for it. I don't pay for pickles because I only want pickles that want me, and if there are any other variables besides raw lust to be consumed by me specifically, it's too complicated. I don't have time for complexity in relationships because I'm dealing with the ultimate complexity. Life, death, sex, drugs, power, the nature of reality, the nature of you. We're going to study you until you don't exist anymore, and then we're going to throw you a party, because what better reason could there be than realizing you don't exist? That cuts down on a lot of your problems. This is Emerson Dameron's Medicated Minutes. Jump on, hang on, get off. You've always sensed you were meant for something, and tonight that something is being taken in hand, steered, coaxed, and commanded until you forget you ever pretended to be in charge. There are moments when you feel powerful, straddling what you want without hesitation, and moments when you wonder if you're offering enough, taking enough, moments when a firm voice or firmer grip reminds you exactly what enough means. You value honesty, so your body confesses instantly, hips tilting, breath hitching, giving you away before you can form a single excuse. You like people, but sometimes you need to catch your breath, step aside, only to have someone hook a finger under your chin and pull you right back where you belong. You crave growth, even the kind that stretches you open and makes you gasp, the kind that comes with a low laugh in your ear telling you to take it, just like that. At your core, you want to matter. We want every bruise of a handprint, every wet mark, every shiver from a command to mean something. You hold yourself to high standards,
standards, how far you can bend, how long you can stay on your knees, how beautifully you can obey when a dominant man smiles sharply above you. You've overcome the impossible before. Now you bring that strength here, letting it fuel you as you're pressed down, opened wider, urged further. You have quiet dreams, filthy ones, whispered ones, the kind that someone only drags out of you when their palm settles on the back of your neck. You like recognition and you melt for it. The approving grunts, groans, the slow nod. Good girl breathe against your throat. You try to be logical, but logic evaporates the moment warm hands claim you, thumbs teasing you open while a voice murmurs, "Relax, baby, I got you." You have flashes of boldness, the sudden decision to kneel, to grab, to pull someone closer by the hips, earning a low, dangerous laugh for your initiative. Sometimes you feel misunderstood until someone finally handles you exactly the way you've been begging for without saying a word. You believe in fairness, mouths for mouths, nails for nails, pressure for pressure, give and take in the perfect rhythm until you are shaking. You want stability, but God, you crave the kind of reckless pleasure that comes with being pinned down, told not to move, told you're doing very well. A part of you always wants more pressure, more weight, more of that guiding grip that says keep going. You've learned lessons with your body, what breaks you open in the best way, what makes you gasp, what makes you tremble and go still and obedient without thinking. You're stronger than you know. You don't just take, you rise to meet everything asked of you. Looking back, you see how often you said yes, even while trembling, how often you stepped right into what you wanted the most. You care deeply for certain people, which is why you let them close enough to taste every inch of you, close enough to own the sounds you make. There's potential in you, untapped, wicked, waiting for the right hands to shape it. Some days you're perfectly in control. Other days you want to be turned around and taken in hand, guided, maneuvered, claimed. You want to be seen, not just glanced at. Seen in the way someone looks at you right before they tell you to open wider. You read people well. You know when someone wants you, when they're waiting for your signal, when they want you on your knees before they even admit it, before they even know it. You balance responsibility with desire until desire pulls the balance right out from under you. You replay conversations, wondering what you could have said or how quickly you could have dropped to your knees instead. There's so much better things to do with the human mouth than talking. You believe in growth, the kind that comes with a steady push, a hand at your hip, a slow, good girl, keep going. When you're interested, you focus, gripping, sucking, riding until the world narrows to heat and breath. You want connection that lingers, hands you still feel long after they've lifted. Setbacks have hardened you. Now you bend without breaking, take without flinching, receive. There are parts of you only a few have tasted, private cravings, hidden places only unlocked with a command. You adapt easily, turning, offering, positioning yourself on instinct. You want safety, but you also want danger, humming low in someone's throat as they tell you what they're going to do next. You've shocked yourself before, with need, with hunger, with the way you beg. You know things get messy, slick, dripping, intense, and you welcome it. You feel caught between who you are and who you're becoming. Someone wilder, bolder, someone who doesn't hesitate when told to come here, babe. You love independence, but the right kind of hold on your hips makes you melt into obedience. Sometimes you sense something better coming, a firmer grip, a deeper thrust, a new kind of heat against your skin. You believe effort pays off, true skill praised. Others see your strength first, how beautifully you give in, how confidently you rise. You want your life to match your desires, even the ones you only admit when someone's pushing your thighs wider. You know mistakes happen, but you learn from every slip up, every gasp, every inch you take. You have a quiet determination that shows most when you hold position, when you obey, when you open yourself just a little bit more. You're still evolving, still learning what you want, what you crave, what you'll let be done to you, becoming someone who answers command with heat, someone who takes more beautifully, hungrily, without fear.
The body is a harp. Temperature is the musician. Warmth can melt resistance in places you didn't know were clenched. A heated bath that loosens the jaw. Steam that opens the chest. A warm compress that tells your muscles, you can stop bracing now. Sensation becomes a language your mind can't interrupt. And intensity doesn't always mean pain. Sometimes it's simply precision. The right pressure, the right pace, the right contrast. Warmth followed by cool air, soft followed by firm, stillness followed by movement. The nervous system lights up when it can't predict perfectly. It pays attention. It becomes present. That's why temperature play, kept safe, consensual, and gentle, can feel like a revelation. It's not about shock. It's about aliveness, about coaxing the body into the moment so fully that the mind finally stops narrating. And if you want me to make it truly Isabella, here. Warmth is devotion you can feel. Heat is a compliment the skin understands. It says, I'm here. It says, I'm watching you. It says, let go. Slowly. Power isn't volume, it's presence. It's the way he doesn't have to explain himself twice. The way his calm makes your nervous system unclench like it finally got permission to rest. Emotional dominance, when it's healthy, isn't cruelty, it's containment. It's a man who can hold the weather of your feelings without panicking, bargaining, or backing away. Some women don't want to fight for control all day and then come home and keep wrestling. They want to feel guided, chosen, quieted, claimed. Not because they're weak. No. Because they're tired of being the one who has to steer every moment into safety. There's a particular kind of thrill in certainty, in being read correctly, in having someone look at you and know which version of you is real under the performance. And then, without drama, he sets the tone. He draws the line. He says, come here, and your mind stops sprinting. But the secret is this. Real dominance is ethical. It listens, it notices, it adjusts. It doesn't take your agency, it borrows it with reverence and gives it back even shinier. The hottest kind of control is the kind that makes you feel more yourself, soft, steady, treasured, and deliciously, scrumptiously undone. Submission isn't erasure, it's artistry. It's choosing, on purpose, to stop gripping the world like it's going to fall apart if you loosen your fingers. It's the luxury of letting someone else carry the map for a while you get to be pure sensation, pure yes, pure exhale. Some women crave surrender the way the body craves warm light after a long winter, not because they don't know how to lead, because they do. They lead teams, calendars, families, expectations, rooms. And then there's this other hunger to be handled gently, firmly, intentionally, to be cared for in a way that feels like devotion, not obligation. In a fantasy of being taken care of, the deepest pleasure isn't in losing control. It's in trusting the person who holds it. It's the permission to be messy emotionally, to be needy, to be tender, to be brave enough to say, I want you to guide me. And aftercare is the crown jewel, the water, the blanket, the whisper that says, you did so well. I've got you. You're safe. That's not an accessory. That's the whole spell. It's the shimmer of I shouldn't, and the delicious, rebellious heartbeat of, but I want to. For some people, the forbidden isn't about harm. It's about intensity. It's about stepping outside the predictable script and feeling suddenly awake in their own skin. Because normal can be a lullaby, comforting, and sometimes numbing. So taboo becomes a doorway into novelty, into risk, the playful kind, into the sense that you're not just performing intimacy, you're discovering it. It's the wink across the room, the secret language, the private world where rules soften at the edges and you get to decide what your pleasure means. But the most erotic part of taboo, let me be honest, isn't the act. It's the agreement, the shared conspiracy. Two people choosing each other over the world's noise, building a little hidden cathedral of trust. And the hotter it feels, the more it demands maturity, clear boundaries, consent that's enthusiastic, and a mutual understanding that forbidden is a flavor, not a weapon. Some desires don't bloom in sunlight. They bloom by candlelight. Dark pleasure isn't necessarily bad. Sometimes it's simply the part of you that wants intensity instead of politeness, the part that wants to be seen in your raw edges, your hunger, your shadow, your complicated little storms, and not be judged for it. A secret can feel like silk around your throat, thrilling, intimate, slightly dangerous. It says, this is ours. No one else gets it. And that can be deeply bonding. Because secrecy implies trust. It implies, I can show you this and you won't leave. But darkness must be handled with care, not with shame, never with shame, but with discernment. Secret should mean private, not unsafe. Intense should mean consensual, not coerced. The shadow is only sexy when it's chosen. Sometimes what people call masochistic is really the desire to transform pressure into pleasure, to alchemize stress into sensation. It's a nervous system craving a new story. I can feel a lot and still be okay. The true seduction is this: someone who can meet your darkness with tenderness, then walk you back into the light hand in hand. There's a particular intimacy in the words. Only you know this about me. Shared secrets, when they're healthy, feel like building a private home inside someone else's chest. It's not about being scandalous. It's about being known. Vulnerability is the most expensive thing you can give away, and trust is the only currency that can buy it. When partners explore unconventional desires together, they're not just trying something. They're practicing communication under heat. They're learning how to pause, how to check in, how to read each other's breath and eyes, how to say yes, how to say no, how to say not, like that, like this. And that's intimacy with teeth. Because the bond isn't forged by the novelty. It's forged by the care around it, the way you protect each other's dignity, the way you treat boundaries like sacred architecture, the way you return afterward to softness, proof that intensity didn't fracture you. It stitched you closer. The deepest trust says, I will not use your openness against you. The deepest devotion says, your vulnerability makes me gentler, not greedier. That's how secrets become bonds instead of burdens. That's how you turn unconventional into unforgettable. Mainstream pleasure is a well-lit room, easy to enter, easy to explain. But some women want the side door, the secret staircase that leads to a private view. Unconventional doesn't mean extreme. It can mean personal. It can mean imaginative. It can mean a preference so specific. It feels like a fingerprint, this angle, that tone, that pace, that kind of attention. It's the joy of realizing your body has opinions, and you're allowed to listen. Uniqueness is intoxicating because it breaks autopilot. It makes intimacy feel like discovery instead of routine. It invites play, the kind where laughter and heat can coexist, where desire isn't a performance, but a conversation. And for many women, the rarest pleasure is being taken seriously in what they want, without being mocked, minimized, or analyzed to death. The moment a partner says, "Tell me, I want to learn you," that's when the body relaxes enough to bloom. The mainstream teaches one size fits all, but real pleasure says custom made. And nothing is more luxurious than being loved in the exact language your nervous system understands. There is something sacred about the return to clean, not the kind of clean that's about shame. No, the kind of clean that's about closure, the warm shower after a long day, the fresh sheets after you've cried, the ritual that says, "We went somewhere intense, and now we come home to ourselves." For some people, the aftercare isn't an afterthought. It's the peak, being washed, wrapped, soothed, hair brushed back, water offered, a slow hand on the back that says, "You're safe, you're adored." You did not have to be perfect. Cleansing can be sensual because it's attention without demand. It's touch that isn't trying to take, it's trying to restore. It turns intensity into tenderness, and tenderness into trust. And there's something deeply romantic about the mundane details, the towel warmed, the lights low, the quiet teamwork of putting the room back together. A shared little domestic magic that makes the wildness feel held, not chaotic. It's not cleaning up. It's being cared for back into softness. That's the kind of luxury that makes people fall in love.
Try it and see what happens. Go find some business socks. And if you've got business shoes, get those as well. Definitely get a tie. That's very important. If you do not identify as male, all of this goes for you too. It's sweet that you're naive enough to think that that would get you out of this. Tie the tie correctly, not this clip-on BS. We want a real tie. Every time I put on a tie, I have to watch the YouTube video to see how it goes. You can do that too. Put on the socks, the tie, the coat, and sing pop music by M. And keep doing it until you get all the lyrics right. You probably won't the first time around. You can go back and do better next time. Try it. See what happens.
Keshung, Los Angeles, 1630 am keshungradio.org. Emerson Damroas Medicated Minute, medicated-minute.com. Levitis Aves Lives.